I did not initially intend to write this book because I was torn between, should I just write about my period in government as a democratically elected president and stop it? But when I started talking to people and people were urging me to write, they said if I do that, there will still be a gap. Because I've written about my exploit during the Civil War. I've written about my period as a military head of state. Then I've written a few books that explain some aspects of my life and interaction with people. I've written on my friend Chukwuma Kaduna Nzego. So when I then decided to write, I decided that, look, I have to make sure that there will be no gap. At the same time, without undue and unnecessary repetition of what I have written in the past. So having written the book, what the question of timing was really somewhat considered. Once I finish the book, I want to get on with other things. And you will see it in the book. I mentioned that look, in my life, I want to take a target, deal with the issue or that target, and when I achieve what I want to achieve with it, I pass that behind me and put it behind me and take another one. So I want to take other things to do, and of course, I have in fact embarked on doing other things. So timing, it could have been 1 month ago, it could have been 1 month from now, but I have to finish the book before it is presented. So the book was finished about 3 months ago, and it was ready, and it was presented.
At the deepest level of conviction, President Olusegun Obasanjo believes that he is God's watchman over Nigeria, and probably the father of modern Nigeria. This biblical favor has guided most of his actions since he came to national prominence as commander of Nigeria's 3rd Marine Commandos, who eventually accepted the surrender from breakaway Biafra in 1970. In the ensuing 5 decades, he has bestridden Nigeria's military and political landscape as military president and a 2-term civilian president. By the way, the only Nigerian to achieve this feat thus far. Even in the intervening years when he was out of office, he has engaged actively at various levels in attempting to shape governance in Nigeria. President Obasanjo has become famous for his open letters to all the presidents who have assumed office, starting from President Shehu Shagari in 1979 through to the incumbent president, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. He has corrected, cajoled, and encouraged them, almost like a headmaster, to properly administer the affairs of state. It was one of such commentaries that irked the late General Sani Abacha into incarcerating President Obasanjo, a journey he wasn't supposed to return from alive, but a journey that then saw him return to the presidential villa. My Watch, which is the title of his latest memoir, which runs in 3 volumes and at 1,522 pages, will leave readers confounded as to whether to classify it as a memoir, a historical document, or both. There are hundreds of pages of documents and private correspondences between the author and many of the leading political figures of our time. Clearly, these documents were included to validate and refute claims. However, their true value is in the substance they provide to serious students of contemporary Nigerian history and political science, and indeed African history. Scholars will pore over these notes for decades to properly position the actions and inactions of the various political rulers. This book is very important because it may motivate the various political actors who have been taciturn on the inner workings of government to defend their integrity, explain their actions, and provide context. Readers should eagerly await the subsequent dialogue that is sure to ensue. In terms of structure, the memoir, which is written in chronological order, is in 3 parts. The 500-page volume 1, His Early Life and the Military, traces President Obasanjo's early childhood from his birth on an A4 market day, which is the only fact he knows about his real birthday, through his journey from the village to the city and then to the military.